Hey, Sterling, it's so nice to have you. And actually, I had the opportunity to meet you at Global Pet Expo, so I'm glad you're here on the show. Welcome to the Pet Buzz.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be here. And it was good meeting you at Global too.
I know. And look, we're dressed similar. We've got pink
Hey.
on. Although you have pink nails, I don't have nails. Let me see. Give me some. Okay. So tell us about your history with animals. Did you always have an affinity with animals? I mean, did your parents allow you to have animals?
You know, what's crazy is I always had that affinity. I always loved animals, especially cats. But no, my parents, my folks would not let me have cats. I used to always have to sneak outside, play with them. I would sneak some in my grandma's basement, but my folks wasn't letting me bring animals in like that. So I was actually sneaking and doing it.
Now, did they like animals or did they have an affinity for animals? Or was it more like, sometimes I think the treatment and care of animals can be cultural. Were they more like animals or outside people?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely
Okay.
felt like animals are outside, supposed to be outside, not inside at all. That was me trying to sneak them in all the time.
Wait, I hear a cat. Is that a cat?
This is literally
It's a cat in the litter box. See, people, we recognize that sound. Well, tell me how you got into cat rescue because I mean, I think you are one of the personalities that are actually driving cat rescue today. So, how'd you get involved?
What's crazy is I've been doing music and entertainment my whole life. I've been rapping. So I was on a music tour, and in between music tours, I was just looking for something to do. You try to find something to keep you busy where you don't just blow a bunch of money until you go back on tour. So I saw an ad in Craigslist that was like helping scoop litter and helping with cats at a shelter. And I was like, cool, I'll do that for a couple months before I go back on tour. But when they met me in the interview, they was like, listen, we're not used to seeing people like you, like men like you
Like, what
that
does that
like
mean? Men
cats.
like
That's what I was
you.
saying. I was like, man, like what's a man like me? What you mean? Guys from Detroit? What are you talking about? they was like, no, we just don't see a lot of men that's in
Okay.
love with cats and work with cats like that. We want you to stay longer. And I was still like, even then, I was like, nah, I'll be here for like 2 months and I'm leaving. I'm about to go on tour with Tech Nine. I was about to go on tour with Tech Nine. I was not about to sit and mess with a rescue. At least that was my thinking at first.
Jackson Galaxy has a history of working at a cat shelter, at working at shelters too. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if they said the same thing to him. You think where was this? Was this in Atlanta or in
Yeah.
Detroit?
No,
Okay,
this was in Atlanta.
okay. So and they probably were surprised that like you're a black man too, right?
Oh yeah. You could tell they was hesitant to just come out and say it like that. They kept, it's
Sure.
like a guy like you, a guy like you. So I'm like, it's a guy like me. But
Oh,
so,
that's
but
so
that
funny.
I knew that's what the deal was. I knew they weren't, because even in my crew amongst my friends growing up, I was always the weird cat guy. Nobody else was really into cats as much as I was.
The African American perception of pets in general. I mean, you said people were surprised, but I think when you look back, I think for African Americans in this country, and I've spent a lot of time um, studying and learning about American horse racing. A lot of people don't realize, when people used to see those little black jockeys, remember Archie Bunker that came home with the little
Yeah.
black jockey? And a lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize, like, they think of those things as racist, but, I don't think of that anymore. I think of the fact that the first people who cared and ran horses and the oldest sporting event in the United States, they were black, they were jockeys. That's who, and a
Most
lot of them
definitely.
were born slaves. A lot of people don't realize. I think one of the early horses, the Kentucky Derby, was actually owned and trained by a black man. And these were some of back in the day. These were some of the major. I mean, before there was Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen, and all these guys. We think of basketball, we think of singing, and maybe dancing, but we're not used to seeing African Americans in these various professions.
That's the reason why I do what I do a lot. And I want it to look fun. I want it to look interesting. I want it to
Mm-hmm.
be attractive. This is what I do, TNR. It's not really considered a career. And the people that make it a career, or, they usually struggle. It's not really accepted. I want to make it something that's big, something that's popular that people want to do.
So, talk about trap, neuter, and return, and why it's more humane than euthanasia.
Right now you have cities, land, colonies everywhere where the cats
Mm-hmm.
are overpopulating and spreading disease. It's been tried to exterminate, but cats reproduce. They do their thing.
Sure.
So you're better off controlling the population. And TNR is just that. It's a humane alternative for euthanasia. So instead of trying to exterminate and euthanize all of these cats, which is proven not to work, you control the colony. So we catch them in humane traps. We take them to low-cost spay neuter clinics, get them spayed, neutered, vaccinated, and then return them back to their colony. And with that, it helps with rodents. And it also, when you have, it's called the vacuum effect. When you have these cats, when you control the population like that, you have about 5, 6 maybe there, they'll keep more cats from coming in. So you got your buddies here that's helping you out, control the rodent population, keeping stuff away that you don't want. And then you don't have other ones coming in. They see the ear tips and they got to fight over the food. They like, nah, I'm gone. I'm not coming. I'm not messing with this neighborhood.
It's interesting because I have two thoughts in my mind as you're talking. So the first one is Philadelphia, which has implemented a trap, neuter, and return policy. As gentrification happens in many neighborhoods within Philadelphia, you see more and more people trapping cats. They are actually allowed to borrow the traps, trap the cats. Then they bring them in. They get spayed, neutered at low cost at the city shelter, as well as other low-cost clinics that have sprung up, and they care for the cats. And it does help control the rodent population. I'm just thinking about a comment that President Trump said. So I'm hoping, and was about the rats in the community. So I'm hoping that Baltimore implements a TNR program too, because they say there's a lot of rodents in Baltimore. And then the other thing that I was thinking of, that Trump thing was something different, but the other thing I was thinking of was my own neighborhood. I live in a very confined neighborhood and it borders a creek. And I've only been living there for about it's going to be my third year. And we do have a feral cat colony. We have one lady in particular, and, she's not the quote unquote, what people think is the crazy cat lady. Her and her husband, feed the cats, take care of the cats, and 2 other neighbors help them catch them, get them spayed, and then they bring them back. And you know what? I am one of the only people, and many people have heard me say this, I'm one of the only people in my neighborhood who walk my dogs. So on a constant day, 2 or 3 times a day, I am familiar with all of the cats. You know what I'm saying? And what their pattern is. For us, we need that to cut down on the rat population.
The community cats are good. They are friends. They're not our enemies. They helping us out here.
Some opponents, I guess, of TNR are worried about disease. Talk about that a little bit.
A lot of times with the cats in these colonies, one of the main issues is they get into fights. They usually, because the resources are so small. So if they're overpopulating, it's limited resources. So they fight over these resources and develop all types of disease, not receiving care or vaccinations and fighting scars. They develop diseases and injuries that's not being treated. And that just spreads.
Sure.
So it's a lot of cats out there. A lot of times when I'm out doing TNR, sometimes it's not even just to even get the cats fixed, but it's cats that's been fixed and now they need to be helped medically.
Talk to us about why it's so important to return these cats to their colony.
And a lot of people, and it's funny because I've been in neighborhoods and people will try to get the cat and take it like 5-4 blocks up the street and dump it off and be like, cool, I'm done with that. And it's like, no, the cat is on your porch the next day. They just sniff their way back. And the reason it's important to return the cat back to their colony is because they'll try to get back. Instinct, they'll try to get back. And a lot of times, if you didn't move the cat so far out their area, they're trying to get back. They crossing streets, they going through all types of traffic. It's dangerous trying to get back. So you want to return them back to their colony. Not to mention, cats in new areas aren't so friendly. It's pecking orders in these colonies. Sure. So you put a cat in a colony he or she has never been in, and now the other cats is like, oh, what you doing? You coming to steal food and mates? Like, we got these paws for you. So that's not good to just we got these paws. Yeah, we got these paws for you. So it's not good to try to just take that cat up the street like that.
Sure.
You need to, it's important to return them kitties back to their colony where they are used to the smells, sights, and sounds.
Sure.
And they good, they safe.
Talk to us about Trap King Humane Cat Solutions and how you're educating communities, bringing your good vibes, because that's what you really represent to me, just great vibes, and how you're teaching people about TNR and its benefits.
So a lot of, usually in rescue animal welfare, we like to pull the heartstrings. We love to pull the heartstrings and tell the sad stories. It motivates people to do that. And I'm not against that. That's, you know, that's another method. My method is, in order to engage different people, new demographics, I want to make it look fun. I want it to look like a rock star versus something that's sad all the time. So a lot of what I do, like I live in my RV, is cats all over. So when I come in the neighborhood, I'm coming in like the ice cream man. You know, I got the kids is like, oh, what's up? I might jump out and hop on top of this thing and rap before I even start trapping the cats. I have a lot of contests. One of the things that I've done that helps a lot that kids love is I'll have young teens watch the traps for me. So the first person that texts me with the trap that has a cat in it, they get $30. The second person get $20. Then after that, $15. And it's, you know, I can't do that all the time, but that's how I find my future trap queens and trap kings out there, young people that want to do it and get involved, because I'll go back and they like, hey, we're going to trap cats and get some money. And I'm like, nah, I can't do that this time. But then somebody's going to say, well, you know what, even without the money, I still want to do it. I like when we did it. And that's your person. That's your person. So I do a lot of that. Before the pandemic, I was speaking at schools and actually doing demonstrations with my cat, Demeter Joe, and showing how the process works and just speaking to more teens and children about compassion for animals and how the process works. So it's the approach being different. I think it wakes different people up. You see different people get engaged. A lot of people I've been able to reach because of the rapping. They was like, man, I didn't even know about any of that. I heard your cat rap song and it was cool. And now I'm out here.
Give us a rap. Give us a little bit of a rap. Go ahead.
I made a song called I Think I'm Mo Show. And it's funny because
tell everybody who Mo Show is.
I Am Mo Show is, he goes by the cat rapper. He raps about adoptions and stuff like that. He's actually a good friend of mine. And we always got this back and forth joke with each other. But I've always talked about making a song about him, just kind of highlighting him, because outside of me, I didn't see men of color involved in cats at all. Mo Show raps, he don't do rescue, but I didn't see Black men involved with cats at all. So I made a song called I Think I'm Mo Show, and I'm trying to remember the words, just try to rap a bit to y'all. I know the chorus is like, I think I'm Mo Show, out here like sassy. I be Black Noah in the streets with the rescue boy, don't add me. So, and Black Noah, thank you. But Black Noah and Sassy are two other people that I've worked with in rescue to promote. Again, a lot of what I do is to promote diversity in animal welfare.
Now, before you go, most importantly, because I know people are going to be intrigued, so give us your website.
TrapKingHumane.org. You can go on there, check out all of the crazy cat shenanigans and stuff going on, because I'm trying to change the world out here. So go check me out. Also, Instagram, I'm on there as _original_Trap King. And it's me and my cats doing all the cat stuff and rescuing we can do.
Thanks for viewing our content on Pet Buzz Plus.